Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Joni Young here. I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step tutorial on this black primed canvas. It's 11 by 14 and it's all dry and ready to go. I'm going to be working with my latest painter's palette that I made with resin and glitter on it. I'll add a link in the description, so click on that if you'd like to make your own. I know I've had a lot of requests and comments from you guys wondering about these little palettes that I make. So I've attached a little crystal knob, very nice and easy to hold. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. I want to do another fantasy world. I'm going to begin with an oval and a blue and white sky in the background, and then I'm going to go from that and just paint whatever comes to my mind. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and feel very relaxed throughout the whole thing, get inspired, and want to paint along with me. I'll begin with some titanium white. I'm just using Liquitex Basics today. Use some of my Amsterdam Phthalo blue. It's not a very large canvas we're painting today, so I'm not going to need too much paint. So I'm going to take one of my large blending brushes. This is just from a hardware store or a little craft dollar store. I'm going to get it just a little bit wet first and dry off the drips on a towel. I'm going to take white first and then just a little bit of blue. A little bit goes a long way. I'll begin in the center. Continuously turning my brush around and around. I'm going to take a little bit more white. Keep in mind with a black canvas, the paint is going to look darker, so you need to be a little bit more generous when adding your paint. I'm going to take some blue now, and I'm going to go around. A little bit more blue. I'm going to make this darker now. Just want to line it up kind of halfway on the black and the color right underneath. So you're always blending into the next layer. I need to take some more white now and blend right in here. So I'm going to do continuous circles or ovals. It's looking a little bit dry, so I'm just going to take a bit of water. More blue. Okay, I'm just going to dust a little pool of water, just a little bit right down here at the base, because you know I'll probably be having some waterfalls that come down here. I love to add 1 or 2 waterfalls in my paintings. It just signifies peacefulness, flow, and tranquility to me. I'll wash all of the paint out of my brush now and give this a nice soft smooth blend together before I start the next step. So whenever you rinse a big brush out like this, you want to make sure you squeeze it, and sometimes these brushes can hold a lot of water, excess water inside here, so you want to make sure you get that out before you have a disaster on your canvas. Barely touch that canvas. Soft, soft brush strokes. Okay, alright, so the next color we're going to be using is Amsterdam Sap Green. I'm going to be using a large mop brush. And I'm going to start tapping in wherever I want to have some bushes. Now they're not showing up a lot right now, but they will be as soon as we add a highlight. I'm going to take a little bit of blue as well and see what a pretty color that makes. Makes phthalo green. Let's just scumble a little bit of that pretty color down here. Okay, now the next color we want to use is Brilliant Yellow Green. This is Liquitex Basics. Whatever light green you have that's a little bit on the yellowy, warm side will work. Okay, I'm going to take the mystery brush and tap. I'm pushing down. I'll show you from the side how I'm loading this brush. This is so I can get it a little bit squished and make some little cascading types of leaves and bushes. Load that up again. Tap off the excess. So whichever way you turn your wrist will give you the direction that you want your little bushes or leaves to go in. And let's add some down here. Maybe this is starting to lead us right into what's back there, a little world that we're creating where we can just go and escape and forget everything else that's going on. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Let's brighten this up just a little bit in here. The light is hitting right down here. We don't want to have too much highlights everywhere though. We want to leave some mystery. So now I'm going to take this green, tap it back into this little bit of sap green that's left, and phthalo blue. I want to add a little bit of a different color right in here. That's looking really pretty. Let's make some more of that color, a little bit more blue this time. Maybe we'll save this area for some little flowers, branches, and a little peaceful waterfall that comes down here. I want to take just a little bit of white, that light green, tap off the excess. Maybe just bring up this highlight just a little bit more. It's very nice and soft, starting to create a real warm and inviting feeling, really drawing us in to what's inside of here. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush off now. I want to start adding some to the sky back here, a little bit of a sun maybe. Maybe we'll add some branches too. I've got a little round brush, kind of like a liner brush and a round brush mixed. It's a number 3. And I'm gonna just pour out some of my light blue violet. If you don't have this specific shade, all it is cobalt blue and white. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this, and I'm just gonna start pulling up maybe some little branches back here. Now it has a little bit of a purple tone to it, and I really love that, especially with all this green. So we'll just add a little bit of that. And I think I'm going to maybe add a few little clouds. I'm going to use my number 4 Filbert. Take a bit more of that blue, a little bit of white. Blend the two together and just start tapping really lightly. Mix up some more color. Don't think too much about your clouds. The worst thing you can do, and most of my students do, is overthink them. Clouds are really easy to paint. Less is more. Just add a few little blobs on and then soften around. And if you want to get into shading and highlighting, that will take a little bit more time. But we just want to create a little mood here. We don't want to do too much detail back here in the distance. Just deciding that maybe there's a few little mountains back there. Add some more of this blue. A little bit of white. Right on the tip of my brush, barely touching. This gives us a little indication that there's some snow-capped mountains. I'm just going to take my pinky, because it's round and the perfect shape on the, I have a bit too much on my finger, just a little bit like this, just for a sun. Maybe we'll just put it right there. Soften, and then add a little bit more. Soften around with your finger. Now I'm using a flat brush, number 6, so it's nice and square, straight line for the end, and I'm going to begin working on a little bit of a flowing river here. We're going to take the phthalo blue and the green, and I'm just going to start, not thinking about it too much, slide my brush side to side, pull and drop. This is going to be our waterfall right down in here. Take a little bit of my white, that river's flowing from way back there. It's lighter in color. A bit more phthalo blue, light green. Still have a bit of white on our brush. Let's make it a little bit darker right in here. Soft little sweeps. Then I'm going to loosen this paint up just a little bit with some water. Take some more blue so we have a nice shadow underneath. Slide and then drop. Pull over, curve and drop. Right down there. Let's add some more of that blue down here at the bottom. A little bit of blue, a little bit of white. A little bit more. Take some green, white, a little bit of blue, add a few little ripples down here. And some more blue now. Painting wet on wet, so these colors softly blend into one another. Maybe some ripples. I'm going to take my mini number 2 fan brush. Push, gently wiggle, slide the tip of your brush into that white, pull across, and then when it spreads apart in sections like that, that's good. You want that because then you'll have natural little lines falling on their own. Pull and drop. We want to add a little bit up here, create some movement, water, a little bit of blue on my brush now. Maybe there's another little one that comes right down here. Maybe another one even right here. They're so fun and easy to make. It gets addicting painting waterfalls. So I'm going to push, tap, just like that. Wash my brush out. Pick up. I've lost the number on this. It's worn off. I've had this brush for a really long time. Just going to just dry tap into the white. A little bit of a spray down here at the bottom. Just a little bit of white on the edge there. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap with my finger. This will give me a softer blending instead of using a brush that has all the little hairs. I'm going to go over this waterfall a little bit more. Slide, get the white on the tip of my brush. Pull lightly and drop. Slide back and forth above. Okay, I think that looks really pretty. I want to add just a little bit more shadow on one side of the mountain, so I'm using phthalo and light ultramarine blue or light blue violet. Using the corner of my brush. Let's add a little bit of one right there too. So now we've got a little bit more of a shadow. We can come in here, get out this way. I think I'm going to add some branches. I'm going to keep it all in blue and green tones. I like the color of this painting. I don't want to do too many colors, which is kind of hard for me sometimes, but I've been using a lot of color lately, and I think today I just feel like keeping it a little bit more simple. So I'm just using my little round brush. You can use a liner brush as well. Some blue, some green, the phthalo blue. will add a few little trees in here. Get out my mini fan brush. So now I don't want my brush to be all spread apart like that, and that happens when you wash it out and it gets too wet. So what you can do is just wiggle really fast into the paint and they'll all spread out again. They'll all fan out to that nice little shape that you want for creating trees. I'm going to take just a little bit of blue and right down in here, let's just tap, flick for instant little forest. Just a little bit like that. Let's take some of our light green. It's so far away. I'm just going to use the corner of my brush, just like this. Tap, tap, tap. And then turn my brush. Soften with my finger. Now we've got a pretty little forest back there. Let's create some distance back here, letting us know that this goes on and on and on. And some sun is hitting the mountain right here, making it a nice light soft green. Okay, so back to these trees. Again, sap green, blue, line, and then I'm going to use the corner of my brush to tap lightly. Let's do another one. Add a little bit of the light green this time. I'm going to add just a few more branches on this one first. And another one right in here. Put some more of that light green on there. Start tapping in to soften this green up a little bit. I want it to be lighter, a little bit lighter. Maybe we've got a really dark one over here. So let's do blue, phthalo blue, sap green. A little shadow down here at the bottom. Just going to soften this up a little bit. Right down here, we'll add a little bit of grass, moss, and a little bit more over here. You can look far away. Let's just add a little bit more color right in here. Now that that paint has had time to dry and set in, take my large blending brush, tap, just soften that a little bit. And we could do some, maybe a few deep purple flowers and bushes down here. Not get too crazy with color, but we could add a little bit. I also want to grab a little bit of yellow. Now this one's by Arteza. I'm not sure how to say it, but sure, some really nice colors. I'm enjoying this. This is a brand new paint I'm trying and I really like it. I'm gonna take my big old mystery brush again. Now, because it got wet and I cleaned it off, it's kind of separating, so I'm not gonna get as soft of a brush stroke that I did before. I'm gonna take some of my cadmium yellow, sap green, and you can see what a nice bright green that is that we've made. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay, take some more. Maybe add, where do we want to add some more? Let's add some right in here. Set those trees back further. So we'll take a bit of white now. Sap green, yellow. There, those trees are looking like they're nestled in there a little bit more and further in the distance. A little bit more green. A little bit more in here. It will dry a little bit darker than this, guys. I want to darken that up a bit, actually. Gotta leave some mystery and not overdo it with too much color. And I can't help myself, I gotta add a little bit more of this yellow. Right in there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I'm gonna take another mop brush. We're almost done this painting. I just want to add a little bit of purple or red or pink down here at the bottom. Whichever color I can find first. Oh, I'm glad it's my purple. So I'm using my neon purple violet. It's by HOLBIEN, and I will list all of the colors and brushes that I'm using in the description below, like I always do for you guys. So here it is. Tap into that. There's a little bit of white on there, but that's okay. And I'm gonna just start adding a little bit right in here. I'll take some of that light ultramarine blue. Soft little taps. Maybe there's just a little bit right there. More of the light blue now. I say a little bit and then I start to get carried away. But it's so pretty. So much fun to use color. Now my sun is looking really white. Why don't we take a little bit of yellow? Just a little bit. Make a nice soft lemon chiffon color. I think I need a little bit more white because there's so much blue behind the sun. I don't want it to end up looking green once it dries. So I line it up, pull it around, and soften. And while I've got this color in here, my flat brush, brush. So you have a nice ridge of paint on the tip like that. Let's just tap in a little bit of brighter highlight way back there. And then you can, with the corner of your brush, so I'm just using the corner and tapping like that. Soften with your finger. A little pull and sweep. Just about done. I just want to do one more highlight. Got my number 9 filbert. A little bit more white. Okay, got a little bit on the end of my brush. It's nice and flattened. I'm going to pick a few spots here to add a soft, buttery yellow highlight. Okay everybody, this painting's all done. I want to thank you so much again for joining me. I'm so happy with how it turned out and I had a lot of fun painting this today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. And I wish you guys happy painting. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time very soon in a brand new video. Bye for now guys.